Wait, there we go.
Da 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 no no da 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 no 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 da 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 no 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 da 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 Daddy Dad.
I was going to say greetings and salutations, but it's been a while. I don't remember how I opened up the Deconstructing Dad podcast. But hello, parents. Whatever you are listening, I'm the Angry Ginger. I'm in this Monkey Poo Studios, and I'm having a meltdown. Dan's running a little behind, and I see some people in the chat room, so I thought I would join. I see Thomas saying, "Oh, you've taken 10,000 photos." You know, here's the thing: is when your kid goes to prom, it's two things, right? Like they're excited, they want pictures, you want to take pictures of them, you're excited. It's a rite of passage for both, right?
True.
But also as a parent, I think you want to embarrass them a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dan came back and said, "Oh yeah, I was doing this and that." He was gonna have a little fun with it. He's gonna be joining us in a minute, and then we're also gonna have the Myers from How Was Your Week, Honey? They're gonna be calling in or joining, I guess, the StreamYard chat in a minute. You don't call in anymore. You just you get a link and you appear.
You shared that link with them, right?
I did.
Okay, good.
Now on the show, we've got Kyle, not producer Kyle. She's never been on Deconstructing Dad, but she's been around. So if you listen to my other shows, you've seen or heard of her. And Brian, longtime listener, second time sit-in situationer.
And massive supporter, sponsor of our final hour of Podtoberfest. Thank you much, sir.
Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
Just to let you know, we're having a Podtoberfest next month, so let us know if you can support us.
I think I'm busy that month.
Yeah, no shit. So am I. I'll be busy fucking planning the next one.
Hair.
Busy washing. That's rude.
I'm kidding.
All right, Brian's in there too. And Brian, hey, shout out to you for supporting the Monkey Poo Studios stuff. We've been giving you a bunch of love over the last 24 hours. So when you go back and listen to some of the episodes, you'll hear.
I hope you feel our love coming through.
And if you don't, you're lucky because you're going to need a raincoat.
Ooh. And our other listener sponsor is Jen Anaya. Again, thank you. I know she hasn't been in the chat today, but she's a huge supporter. And
one day enough for years. She's like, I've had my fill of those guys.
We appreciate you.
So as the Deconstructing Dad podcast, we usually try to just get into some of the I guess the dad, the parenting, the family, the dating, the divorce, the whatever the crap that's always been over the last couple of years, the parenting side, not as the deep introspective stuff we do on hiatus. And we usually don't do pop culture as much as we do on 7 Days a Geek. And I certainly don't teach people how to podcast on the show. So, make of it what you will. But, we rarely have guests. We've done guests the last couple of episodes, and there's one more coming out that's got a guest. So we like to talk to the Myers, and we did it last year. We're going to do it again this year. So, you know what? I'll just when they join, I'm going to be like, okay, what do you guys got? I'm going to put all the pressure on them, make them worried.
You're going to make them break under the pressure. Is that your goal?
No, but you know what? They've been podcasting long enough, just like we have. So I don't think it's going to be difficult because it's not like we shot a bunch of ideas back and forth. It was just like, hey, why don't you guys come on? Okay. And we'll go from there. And I'm sure you can't have a bad time with them. I mean, you can't get a word in edgewise either, vice versa. So it'll be a fun free for all. I don't see anyone joining the chat yet. Word. I love seeing my name in the chat room when I haven't typed, and it makes me think I'm losing my mind, but you're running.
Me.
Yeah. Did I make a Clerks 2 reference? Tom's in there just talking to himself.
No. Mike Laybourne's in there too.
Right, but he's asking himself if he made a Clerks 2 reference, and then he said yes, he did. So,
well,
he has. Yeah, good. I'm live, and my children want to talk to me. I just want to say bye. Bye. Where are you going? You going to work? Oh, okay. I just went to work. I made $123.
I guess.
High five. I'm so proud of you. This is Brian. He's a listener.
Met you last year.
This is Haley.
I know. I met her last year.
Oh yeah.
People listen to your podcast.
Yes.
You'd think they were smart enough not to, but yeah, I've got a few listeners.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a few years. You want to get on a microphone or just interrupt us?
Stupid enough to drive up from Texas.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we have to go to Texas next year.
We don't have to.
For a wedding.
I'm kidding. My niece is getting married, everybody. So tell Dan to get his camera ready. He's going to go down there and take pictures too.
Thousands.
Mm-hmm.
What
You'll be back tomorrow?
What month,
sweetie?
What month is she getting married in?
December.
Okay, so it's about the 1 month you can be down there in normal clothes.
Oh, okay. Good time to go to Texas in December. I've heard that rumor before, starting today.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too.
Love you.
Be good.
Bye.
Promote Kyle back to producer, please. Well, we'll see how she does this hour.
Yeah.
She's already given the link out to everybody just to join.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My bad. Sometimes I get confused. Honestly, it's just because I've never podcasted this long before. This is a marathon for me. I know it's a marathon for you.
Is it daunting?
I told you, I was nervous. I think Thursday we were talking about it. I was nervous coming in because I think I asked you, do you think I can handle?
Should I tell you you're doing a good job or a shitty job? Which one will make you feel better?
I'm probably more comfortable with being told I'm doing a shitty job because it just makes me work harder. That's how things work in my family. God, you suck. Okay, I'll do better.
Yes, daughter. No. I'm sorry. I don't have anything like that. Right.
If you put rice in a bag and microwave it, that'll help.
I would just want to eat it.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's 2 kids out of 5. So let's see who else can interrupt. But you know what? It's like pre-show stuff. So anything can happen. And once Dan and Kristen get here, it'll all stay perfectly fine. No one will interrupt anything.
I feel bad right now because I do own a heating pad. I am a man.
Go home and get it.
It's so funny that she asked that because I almost bought one yesterday morning and then forgot it was on my list because my back has been killing me. And
Who?
No.
He's the unfortunate soul from Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
Dave is the Canadian one, or Chris and Kristen.
Like the one that brought up the kitty cats.
Different part of Canada. Well, Canada's a big country.
Who knows?
Nah, they're just the attic apartment above our garage.
Now, I've got a few things that we're going to discuss. I wanted to run them over with Dan.
Dirty basement.
Like one of the things we were going to discuss. Oh, hold on, let me find this hour. Where's my sheet at? Was a vasectomy, and I'm really curious. Kyle, are you thinking about getting a vasectomy?
No,
okay.
No, I'm good. I'm solid.
What Dan have? Like these are good like parenting topics. I don't want to go ahead without them, but I can tease what we're going to talk about. We're going to discuss blending families, how that's going when you're dating someone that has kids.
You're dating someone that has kids?
Just murder them.
Okay.
Kids adjusting to the move. Dan moved recently, so he's going to discuss how the kids are handling that. I'm guessing if it's on there, it's probably not good. Dealing with your ex's or partner's shitbag significant other. And that wasn't me writing that.
No comment.
I mean, I did write it, but I gave it a little flair. All right. Okay.
Dan's here.
Dan is here.
Hey guys.
What up, buddy?
What's going on?
Nothing. How'd pictures go? Did you embarrass the kid with way too many? Did you? Hey,
oh no, I did 3. In fact, it went a little longer than I thought. She's not leaving until 5:30, but I wanted to get those pictures done and get back.
So you took 3 pictures and left?
Basically, yeah. I mean, she's dressed, she's ready to go, and they're just waiting around, So.
How do you feel with the kid going off to homecoming?
That's fine. I mean, she's old enough now that she's a good kid, so I trust her. I trust her trust her judgment.
Well, that's
she's got a good group of friends. So
that's your downfall as a father. Never trust them. Never trust them.
So
Chris and
we'll see.
You guys are joining in too. Hello, my friend.
Hello. Dan, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing? I haven't seen you guys in forever.
I just caught the tail end of that, Dan, and I think you're wrong. You don't trust teenagers or the kids that are
you watch them like
this way. I am well aware, having grown up with 2 older sisters, as to the evils to which they can get into with their friends. So,
as somebody who works with children for a living,
yeah,
psycho.
Don't trust them.
Oh no, I don't. I shouldn't say that.
It's what we tell ourselves to make ourselves calm, Dan, but we know we shouldn't do that, right?
Well, we jumped in late here, so I don't know the context of what he's trusted his daughter with. We kind of missed that.
I think it was homecoming. I'm not sure what that is, but I think that's when Americans get laid.
Well, it's one of the ways.
Okay.
Yeah, that's prom. It's usually prom, but homecoming is like it's a big football game. It's like a big social environment. thing to do.
I don't know if it's prom. I mean, there is the expression "off like a prom dress," and there was
prom
one that's
is definitely.
There's a homecoming one too. It's not coming to me right now. So either way, the dresses come off.
Yeah.
It's a
prom was the same thing as homecoming. Are they?
No. Homecoming usually coincides with like a football game. It's where you usually play your arch rival, and then they elect a homecoming king and queen.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I've seen that episode of American TV.
I've seen that episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Carrie? I think Carrie was one of the times they had that.
The whole synopsis wasn't. I know what you did last summer. Was it? No, that was like a town festival queen or whatever.
Yeah.
She was like a pumpkin queen or some shit, wasn't she?
Yeah. So homecoming was originally like it's supposed to welcome students back from when they go off to college. It's their first experience, and
then why do they do it at a high school?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's usually because it's in the fall and they're coming back to school.
The high schoolers made all about them.
Yeah.
Kristen,
all I can think of right now is Rydell High beat the Cavaliers. And Dan, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. We go together like
Grease.
Keep going.
Yeah.
just think of homecoming as Fall Festival of Princess from Hallmark.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
It's hard to have that here. You can't really have nice get-togethers in the hockey rink.
No.
You get one Hallmark mention.
No.
You can have more people in the curling rink, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
The curling rink?
Not like you're playing like freestyle curling. You've got to be in a space for it.
It's special
Curling
ice.
is, right?
Curling rink is not the same as a hockey arena.
To homecoming though. I'm
because it's football's not really
or was the comparison to
Canadian sport, man.
I know what it is, but
those are the things that we start right now. Like you couldn't do football outside because it's snowing.
You gotta keep up, man.
No, I'm done keeping up.
No,
actually, I was searching for the thing about Kristen we were talking about a minute ago. And the only comment I found on it was from Dan, which is really weird that it's the three of us are all together on this. We were talking about your photo shoot from like 5 years ago.
Oh, I remember. I know what one they're talking about.
I don't.
I didn't know about it until 14 seconds ago. Minutes? Somewhere around there.
The one you did
when she won the
boudoir photo shoot outside.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting one of those blowing up to put in our bathroom. Is that weird if you put like a picture of your bum in the bathroom?
No,
not if it's your bathroom.
I highly recommend
personal bathroom.
Every bathroom.
If it's a general bathroom, it could
if you're
lead
just
to some
like
masturbatory issues later down the line.
Yeah, it's just
it's in my bathroom, like off of our bedroom.
Yeah,
and it's like black and white, and I think it would look really good. And you can't see my face, so like that's even better, right? So it's like from behind.
Then it's only Chris masturbating to it in your bathroom.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, how is Chris ever going to go to the bathroom?
Bedroom.
He's got to look at it, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not using the bathroom now."
She's just prepping him.
Well, I am. I just switched gears a little.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you're.
I was coming to use the bathroom, but now I'm going to use.
No, you messed that up.
No, I'm just coming.
Yeah.
Well, the way I look at it, no, I probably still use the bathroom. I just might be a little more energetic coming out.
There we go. I actually am not happy with that photo shoot because I wasn't comfortable outside. Because it's weird to wear lingerie in a forest. And I just think that that's fucked up. And why would she ask me to do that? I don't know.
Do you guys have deer ticks up there too? I mean, because that's always the other thing you think about.
But they're in the spring.
I hope Chris did a nice tick check on you.
I'm sure he did.
Is like, she's in the middle of the forest taking a photo shoot, and all of a sudden a group of Boy Scouts come walking down the trail. What badge do they earn?
I just want to point out that Tom Jackson in the chat just said, all listeners, send pics of your bums to Jason for his bathroom.
I did not
Please
say.
don't do that.
I did not say.
That's a lot of hairy ass.
My bathroom. Although, I was going to say it's really funny because you're questioning whether it's proper for you to put a picture of your own bum, who you are an adult, right? Like, you can buy decorative stuff for your bathroom of like kids and their cute little asses, like those Ann Geddes photos and shit. It's like, well,
slap a cabbage leaf on them and call them good.
No, that's proper, right? Oh yeah, that's cute. That's a cute little ass. Although, in some houses that's pedophilia. So
now, Kristen, I have been in several houses in the Lindenwoods area of Fort Worth, and they do have such photos in their bathroom.
Perfect. So I don't feel so bad. I don't know. Like I was going to ask people like on Facebook, but the only people that I have on Facebook is like my uncles and aunts, and I was like, I don't know if they want to comment on this. And then I asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, you should." But I was like, "No, that might be weird." But with cool, nobody's been in our house anyways, so I could just like put pictures of me up all over the place.
Maybe
and
like,
feel
you know, it
so
gets
how many
progressively
baths
more risque as you get closer to your bedroom.
How many baths in the new place?
Yes.
No, how many baths do you have?
Oh, two. Sorry.
Yeah.
Two. So
the girls have one and we have one.
So you have two. So you're about 4 years away, I would think, from being at a point where both girls are having to get makeup ready in the morning.
And now they're
we're already there.
Mom's bathroom with.
I don't want to use mom bum bathroom.
So we made theirs with double vanity just for this.
So we were like really. I had a sister growing up, so I kind of remember sharing a bathroom with her and everything. So when we designed the house, I was very clear on we needed 2 vanities in their bathroom, and I picked out the vanities so that they each have 3 shelves and a cupboard so that they can keep all their shit. And then plus we made in their bedrooms, as you walk in, that's their like dressing room. So we put like full we put like full like mirrors,
full length mirrors. There's lights. They have shelving, so like one's for earrings, one's for makeup, one's for brushes and hair stuff.
You get ready in your bedroom and
in front of your closet,
the bathroom, to go to the bathroom.
Smart.
Wow.
Is that gonna work?
That's really smart.
I like that.
That's very smart.
Well, how was it for you, Dan, with your 2 kids? I'm not sure how many bathrooms you had, but
we have.
I
had
your post, by the way.
Thank you. I had 1. Now I have 1.5. So and it's wild is because my bathroom is set up. The main bathroom, you walk in, the tub and shower is to your right. Sink and toilet are straight ahead of you. But then there's this door, and you open that door, and that's the half bath that goes into the master bedroom.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's like this little Jack and Jill thing, which is great because my old place only had 1 bathroom, and if you had to go and one of the kids was in the bathroom on their phone, like so they're going, "Oh, I'm going," which they're not. They're just either shooting a TikTok or they're playing a game. It's like at least now I have an extra place to go. But the problem I keep having is every once in a while, one of them will go in to my bathroom, shut the door, lock it, and then leave through the other door. So like I go to use it from my room and the door's locked, so I got to break out my Leatherman, pop the lock open to get in.
Again, we were thinking in our bathroom, we made our shower a walk-in shower with 2 heads. So like, when it's late at night, we just like get the girls into their bathing suits and we shower them together. Everybody get in.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. My bathroom, unfortunately, that's like one of this apparently the prior owner to this home was the only owner. So he'd been here since like the late 50s, early 60s. And the bathroom is pink and black. And the mini bathroom is like a grayish blue, which is fine. But I still have to paint those bathroom walls. But I have to prime first because they wallpapered the bathrooms.
We wallpapered the bathroom.
Yeah, but
they're over.
It's.
I love fucking wallpaper like so much.
But the new wallpaper, how old this wallpaper is.
Our bathroom, we wallpapered black.
So
like crushed velvet.
Like
right, and my wallpaper is 3D. Pink flowers.
We have pink flower wallpaper in our bedroom off of that. So it's all black, gray, and pink.
Yeah.
So
I love pink. And Chris just puts up with it.
Fluffy velour type wallpaper still in my parents' bathrooms at home. So
how does wallpaper last in a bathroom? If I feel like it would just disintegrate.
It's my dad still has wallpaper in the bathroom, and then they built the house in 1977.
Yeah.
I grew up with wallpaper in our bathroom. It's easy to wipe. I love things that are easy to clean. So
wallpaper is actually really easy to clean as opposed to a painted wall.
And we have wallpaper on the top half, and then all the bottom half is tile, so that I can just wipe up everything.
I'm still mad that Kristen declined the house I found for her because I found one house for her to clean It'd be the only thing you'd ever have to clean. 30 bedrooms, 30 baths.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
No, thank you.
That's a complex.
Wait, that would be perfect for Jason and all his kids.
Yeah.
Right?
It might have enough bathrooms too. You guys were talking about bathrooms. I got a funny story. Sorry, Kyle. Last couple of days, like I have my own bathroom. My basement's always just been the guy's bathroom. I have my room down here. My son has his room down here, and we use it. Every once in a while, one of my girls will come down here if someone's taking up a bathroom. Rarely does anyone come down here. The last week, Kyle's been in the shower twice, and she's getting out. Cole walks in once because he's in here. He's podcasting with me all the time. So he's down here talking. He turns around, grabs the bathroom door, and goes to walk in.
They both watched me walk in the bathroom, and nobody stopped. Cole just walked right in.
Goes, oh my God!
Now we know the real reason of last night.
And then a couple days later, my daughter's down here talking to me, and we're redoing the bathroom, painting the walls, doing everything. No wallpaper, I'm sorry. And my daughter wants to see what the bathroom looks like, and just opens it up, and there she is getting dressed again. Like,
hi.
Yeah.
One of the things that we will be doing is putting a working lock on that door.
I want a solid oak door. That one's too thin. It causes too many fights whenever there's a podcast going on.
I'm just going to put a glass shower door right there. So
apparently that's what we need.
You just know someone's in there. You need to open the door.
Just need to steal one of those porta potty locks. That's red when it's vacant and green.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, right now when you lock it, it doesn't matter. It opens anyway. There's no stopping anybody.
Yeah, it's got a bad handle on it.
Yeah.
So Chris and Chris, how is it having a teenager now? Well, she's almost a teenager, right? She'll be 13 in a few weeks.
In a few weeks, yeah, December 1st.
Okay.
I feel like
it's a lot.
It's a lot. I don't understand. Like, I have read mummy blogs and mummy books and done all of the research on how to raise these children, and then it's like the information stops when they turn 13. Everybody's just like, fend for yourself, fucking run.
It's because that's when the parent starts heavily drinking because they turn into assholes. Yeah.
Well, that was my next question. Was going to be to you, Jason. Was as a parent of a now 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Or 20-year-old. When do they get back to normal?
Like 14, 15, and 16, and a little bit of 17 so far have sucked, and it's been the same pattern for 2, and the third one has just picked up right where the other ones left off. So
I think the fourth one is starting early.
I agree. Yeah.
I personally think it's at 18 they stop being one because that's when they learn that they might have to start paying for their own cell phone plan.
It kind of helps. Some of that does help, but I
pay for my own stuff, and I still was a total bitch to my mom. Until I was into my 30s. After I had Rowan, I think after we had our first child, I could be like, maybe my mom wasn't such an ass, and then she died. So I couldn't even say, I'm so sorry, and so I have a lot of regret about that. Because obviously I see how much I put into my kids, and I know that my mom did. And I don't know. I was such a bad. I
think that's true daughter. Though. You become friends with your parents once you hit your late 20s, early 30s. It's different for everybody, but somewhere in there you kind of come back around and you appreciate them more.
Yeah. Once I hit teenage and going in a little bit older, right around 15 is always been a pain in the ass, but you almost become you're the village idiot to them, right? They don't understand that you've ever lived a life or anything. You can't possibly know what they've been through. And it's funny because everything is cyclical, right? Even though we never lived in a time with cell phones or but you go back and we grew up with TVs and you're gonna burn your eyes out, and then it becomes you're on the internet too much. It's because everything it's different but the fucking same. And they're like, well, you don't know anything, you don't know what I'm going through, or you're just the old man crying about shit. And it's and then one day all of a sudden oh, you know what, maybe you did know what you were talking about.
See, I have a plan. I'm gonna try and bypass the middle school through mid high school by sending her to boarding school in Switzerland or something.
That's smart.
Swiss Alps, where there's no internet access.
Because nothing has ever gone wrong in a boarding school.
Every evil villain in a Bond film.
True.
I was one of those dumb parents that were listening to everybody and going, that would never happen to me. I have such a great relationship with my kids. They're wonderful kids that we have a great open relationship. We talk, we communicate. So I thought all of them were just telling me dumb stories. And I think that Deconstructing Dad should just be about like the change over children to teenagers, because like I need a podcast to listen to that is going to tell me what to do.
Or at the very least not make you feel alone.
Yes. And there's nothing out there for middle school parents. And I know it's going to get worse because now I know all those parents who were like, it gets worse. I'm believing them now.
Yeah.
See, I'm a little bit different in that I inherited a kid.
Okay.
And so I have a 24-year-old special needs person that has been around me since he was 9. I first met him when he was 10 years old. And so what I've not seen yet is I also have gone through every IED, ARD, and meeting from a school point where the schools in our school district feared me. Worse than anybody has ever feared Kristen.
I don't know about that. I'm on every pack.
That's not a bad thing.
I've had every one of Chris's records digitized on a SharePoint server and would literally pull them up and auto print them to their desk during the ARD meetings.
That's not a bad thing. My girlfriend is involved in her kids' schools on the Board of Education, and you know, she did it because she wanted to, you know, help make the schools a better place. And it's, you know, you have to, in this day and age, have to be a proponent for your kids. You have to, I mean, and I feel bad for teachers. I look at it both ways because, you know, these teachers are so stressed out and so pushed to the max. They're not, I mean, it used to be in America where being a teacher was a well-respected, respected and well-paying job. And it's not anymore. I mean, these guys are
my career that has literally never been like that. It was before I was working. It has never been that way for me.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle were teachers in Jersey, and they got in at this like the perfect time, like the late 60s. They retired, they had great pensions. And it's like one of the things that happened here in New Jersey was the state was going bankrupt, and this was back in the like mid to late 80s. And so the governor went to the unions for like the firefighters, the teachers, said, "Hey, can we take a loan from your pensions? We'll pay them back with interest over the years."
Alberta tried doing that.
And they did it.
That's
they
right.
said, sure. And guess what? That never happened.
Alberta tried that. So my sister and her husband were living in Alberta. They just moved here. He was a teacher there. Chris's sister is a teacher in Manitoba. And every province is different here for the teachers and stuff like that. Yeah. Our problem with our kids hasn't really been school, but maybe that's because I am so involved. Like I was like the hot lunch lady. So I thought if I was at school with the kids, that anytime a boy wanted to feel up my daughter, he would think of the lunch lady.
The hot lunch lady.
No. And then
hey, listen, like, I had the hot mom for the teacher, so that was bad.
Yeah. Right.
That was really bad.
Mrs. Claus.
So you're saying you had your mom's hot bun pictures in all the school bathrooms.
Luckily there weren't cell phones back then, but there probably would be.
I always think about that too. If I didn't put it up on the bathroom wall, like I can't even post it or anything because I feel like my kids are on Instagram and they'll see it. And then I am like embarrassed. But I mean, Kourtney Kardashian does it. Like all of these other moms are like out there with like halter tops on and stuff like that. I don't understand, but I can't. I feel so I paid this money for these pictures and I've never shown them.
It needs to go in your bathroom. Like that needs to be the thing.
Well,
yeah. Okay. I'm going
I
to
support this decision. I do.
A few years from now, Conan will bring home a boy and he'll look at her and say, "I've seen you before."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rowan actually just broke up with her first boyfriend.
Oh no, she broke up.
Yeah, yep. They broke up. It was a COVID relationship, so they never actually saw each other, but they texted each other often. And
So
but she waited till the end of the date to break up, or no? You made her do it at the beginning, didn't you?
No, she did it at the end, but we made her go face to face. She was like, I'll just text him. I'm like, hell no, you're not texting this poor boy. You're his first girlfriend. You are going and meeting him face to face for the first time and breaking up with him.
Let me
The
meet
first
you.
time she met him,
No. I mean, they know each other from
We live in a small town. I mean, they went to preschool together. So
they know each other. It's just during COVID, no one was leaving or going out. So when they were actually in the relationship, it was all through the phone.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder.
So do you have any special drinks tonight, Chris? Sorry.
No, just gin.
Oh, you're doing just straight gin?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a glass full of straight gin?
I bought this awesome tonic, so I'm not sure which tonic this is. Is this the cucumber one?
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that on your show, on the show. You got it at that place. Did I send you guys the lavender margarita recipe?
I don't think so.
I don't think you did. No.
Oh,
and we have like a lavender bush. We can make our own lavender simple syrup and stuff. We're going to Chris's parents for dinner, and they're Lindenwoods, you know. So when we get there, they're like martinis and cocktails to start. And then we have wine, and then after dinner, you have an amaretto or scotch or whatever on the rocks. So by the time we podcast tonight, I'm going to be hammered.
Oh, so the usual Saturday.
Yeah,
they're the best ones.
Chris,
our drink tonight. Our drink tonight, Dan, is amaretto cranberry kiss cocktails.
You're loud.
Huh.
You should try out the apple crown cocktails. They come in the 4-pack, and it's apple crown, pomegranate, and there's something else.
I don't remember what that one was.
I don't know, but it's delicious. So we try.
Is it like Crown Royal?
Yeah. But it's apple.
Made in Winnipeg.
Made in Winnipeg.
Right outside of Winnipeg, but yeah, that's our thing. That's our go-to. When I was a kid, that's what I always brought. That sounds terrible when I was a kid, but really, it was.
Baby bottle.
Just me and my crown.
Yeah.
Well, I made Jay get all swanky earlier this week because we went wine tasting.
Yeah,
nice.
I've never done that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. When is your birthday, Jay? It's coming up, right?
Couple days. Monday. What day is it? Monday. It's Monday.
Monday. All right.
Did
Happy
you
birthday,
like
my brother?
I loved everything. Yeah. I mean, even like the wine that was like, it's okay. It was okay. It was fine to drink. Like, I don't know if they make a bad wine. At least not what I've had up in Traverse City.
Oh, they do.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Anything sweet.
See, I like the sweet stuff.
Oh, see.
Did you like red or white?
The white.
Red or white?
We did mostly white.
Yeah.
Yes, we're only red drinkers.
Yeah, I do. I'm part of a wine club down here with one of the oldest wineries in New Jersey, and their stuff has been really outstanding. I mean, they've even been able to get grow and bottle a decent Malbec, which is surprising because normally you can't get a good Malbec outside of like Argentina.
Oh,
or the Okanagan.
So we live in the wine capital of the country. So we've done a bike tour. Like we could walk to a winery from where we live.
Oh, come on. We rented electric bikes because there was no fucking way I was riding up the mountains and drinking.
But there's about, I saw a map. I think there's 240 wineries starting about 15 minutes north of us all the way to the border. So
holy cow.
Kind of do what's the miles for that? Like 60-mile stretch?
Why didn't you take me there for my birthday? Oh.
Anytime
that's
you guys
called
want to stay.
Yeah.
The liver failure. The liver failure. Route 66 of Canada, huh?
Oh, and there's like also cideries, and we have a shit ton of craft breweries and
distilleries.
We have some really like great gin joints.
We even have a wine village.
If we didn't have quite a bit of that here, I would think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love all that stuff.
We're in the hot spot of Canada. So I know everybody is always like the north is so cold, and it is, except for us.
I think Grand Rapids is further north than we are. Is there go up?
No,
yeah,
further north.
We're actually pretty south.
Yeah, but we're
almost right on the border.
You're still America's hat.
Yeah,
that's true.
You're still north of the parallel.
Yes. So we are
Does that make them our ass?
Yes. You're the boobs. We're the ass.
We are right above Oroville, Washington. I don't know if you know where that is. I know you were talking about
north of Spokane.
Yeah, north of Spokane.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, it's the same amount of distance to get to Seattle as going to Vancouver. So we're gonna go to watch the Seattle games, the Kraken games, rather than going to Vancouver because it's Vancouver. You've been there.
The way I can look at it is I know Michigan is still south of Winnipeg because we're still south of most of Minnesota.
Right.
So
I've been all through Michigan though.
Have you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been to almost every state. But we actually drove through Michigan. We went through Detroit to take a picture at 8 Mile. And then we also went to Flint, Michigan, because you have to
want to get water.
No, I did not want to get water there.
So if I fly Cole and Kristen out, can we do Podtoberfest next year?
Cole and Kristen?
Yeah.
Kristen.
All right, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, what am I walking?
Well,
we would go to Vegas. We liked Vegas.
Cole and Kyle, we could fly out to the Okanagan Valley and do Podtoberfest.
I'm not going anywhere near Yellowstone.
I'm not going to take you to the murder zone. Calm down.
All right.
No murder zone. I'm trying to fly you to Kristen.
Actually, Kyle, I heard you talking about doing more hiking in Washington, but we had a really great hike called the Pacific Trail in BC, and it is fucking stunning. You go through rainforest. You're right on the coast. I mean, it's an amazing track. I'm trying to get Chris and actually Matt to do it.
I would be so on board with that.
Let's do it.
You would love it. I've seen your pictures,
it's
Matt.
all along the ocean, then up mountaintops and back down through rainforest. There's whale spot, like you name it, you're gonna see it. I think it's a 75-mile stretch on Vancouver Island. Sorry, that you go.
Did Jason get a Segway to do that on?
Yeah. No, what I'm gonna need is I'm gonna get hats. Those fucking beer hats you wear at a stadium for me, Matt, and Chris.
Home dome.
Yeah.
I was actually just looking at memories, and 4 years ago to yesterday, we hiked up Giant's Head,
right,
with our 4-year-old. That was fun.
Yeah, I haven't taken mine on any of these solo hikes because she gets about a half a mile in and she's like, "This is boring. I don't want to go. Mommy, my legs hurt." And I'm like,
I relate.
Yeah.
That's why we live here. That's what I say. I'm like, that's why we live here. It's outdoor. This is our lifestyle. We like to hike. We do a ton
our
of hiking.
Our youngest will do that every time, and we'll say, "Well, the car's down there, and we're heading up," and soon enough they'll follow.
So and like she's 8, and she's hiked up 3 mountains, 3 mountains already.
Well,
so yeah, we're impressed with her, but she does whine the whole time.
When you do the hiking, do you guys as a day trip or do you like summit?
No, fuck. Unless there's a chocolate on my pillow, I am not summiting anywhere.
I will definitely go hiking with you.
That's not true. We've been up. We've been up to the summit of a few mountains. We one way up and then the same way back.
Yeah, it's a day trip. We'll have a lunch or something at the top, but if I can't get down by dark, I am not going.
And then we geocache because it keeps the kids interested.
To be fair,
To be fair,
I've never stayed out on the mountain while summiting. I've always come back down, but when I do solo hiking, my dad is real. I'm 36 years old. My dad is still thinking I'm 16, and he's like, "You better check in. You better stay safe. You better stay in a hotel by yourself."
That's good.
Yeah, so I've promised him the last couple of times I've gone that I would stay in a hotel so somebody notices if I don't show up, or if they go to clean my room and all my shit's there, somebody's alerted to the fact that maybe I'm dead on a mountain somewhere.
So we have a lot of people that
you
go
can
missing
always
here,
be dead in the hotel room too.
I know,
that's always an option.
That has happened.
Usually in Vegas.
It's a quicker learning process, I think, is what she's getting at. But she's the last time she's gone, or even next year when she wants to go, like her hook, line, and sinker is, if I go here and there's a hotel close, would you like to come out, hang out for a couple of days and hang out at the hotel? And I'll see you that night, because she knows I'll go hang out and do a pool or drink some beers. When I was like, look, I'll go for a hike. But for me, a vacation is not a week in the fucking forest. It does not sound entertaining at all.
Us neither, but one day for sure. We took a trip out to Portland. We went for a concert, and one night was the concert. Another day was checking out restaurants. One night was hanging out with Matt and his lady friend. And then one day we just took off for the coast and we hiked out. Was it Tillamook?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that
went-
was a fucking high
So
mountain.
that was same thing, just up to the top of the mountain, summit.
I was
look
way
around.
too hungover for that shit because
You sweat it out. It worked.
the seals were so loud. I was like, what is going on?
See, when I did Olympic last year, I was out for 4 days, I think. So it wasn't a crazy long trip, but I mean, I was in the eastern part of Olympic National Park, and then I did the coast, and then I went through the whole national rainforest. So
I
I
saw
did
pictures.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. It was.
Have you heard her story about being stalked by a mountain lion?
No.
Don't you know you just have to play Metallica? That's a Canadian in Vancouver was getting stalked by a mountain lion, and she turned around with her phone and played Metallica really loud, and it ran away.
Make you run away.
That's a lot of noise.
Apparently, I need to do that because I'm walking back and I'm on the phone with them, and I can hear it.
And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to listen to you get murdered on the phone.
He's like, do you have your knife on you? And I'm like, yeah, it's in the bottom of my pack, but I'll have to bend over and I get my pack off and then take out the knife. And I'm like, it's going to kill me if I stop.
See, that's why you always need one on your belt so you can have it in hand.
Yeah, well, it was early. I was
Well,
going
you
up.
could just be like us.
You're a
and
belt knife guy?
We
Dad?
have them everywhere. And I mean, I was really upset when they wouldn't stop the kids from going out for recess because there's 3 mountain lions right outside the school. And you could see all their eyes. And there was a mom and 2 cubs.
There was like a small hill and the houses hang over the edge. And there was a family of them living underneath one of the decks that hung over the edge. And so you'd see them under there where it's dark and shaded, and you just see these eyes light up when the sun would hit it. And they're all just they must have been like a smorgasbord for them. They're just looking down at the playground of the school going.
And we get we get a letter from the school board, and they're like, just make sure your child isn't the last one on the field.
Oh,
you can't outrun a mountain lion, but you can outrun the other kid.
All I can
man.
All I can imagine is being the guy like that owns the house with the deck, and you're out there grilling, and you know how like a cat will like try to get its paw under the bathroom door or some shit. You're down there grilling, all of a sudden its paws reaching up above the fucking deck trying to pull you down.
They were snowbirds, so they go to the States for the winter. So their house was all closed up, and we don't really get snow where we live. So our winters, the cats and everything come down from the mountainside, and they hide in the snowbirds' yards.
You know, I have a bad mountain lion near our house because I back up to a freight airport.
Okay.
So there's basically nothing west or north of me until
Because it's all that like private land that you're not allowed to touch, and all the animals live there.
Well, it's not even private land. There's just nothing west of me, period, for the rest of Texas.
You know what we call that? We
Yeah,
call that Crown Land. In Canada, it's called Crown Land because it's owned by the Queen.
Yeah.
Oh. I was going to ask you, Brian, what it's like. You hear them talking about all these mountains and everything, and you're stuck in like one of the flattest states in the country. I mean, the only state I think worth driving through is Ohio for some reason.
Nebraska.
Tennessee, the state you have to do a giant S in to get from one corner to the other.
Tennessee was gorgeous. I'm sorry, the hills and everything. Tennessee is beautiful. It's all that Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, like that's
Wyoming.
all really boring. Wyoming's not so bad.
Shout out Quadfather. What?
Yeah.
Pour one out.
Who?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, but Missouri's pretty, but yeah, I do agree about Kansas and all the Great Plains states. I mean, I live in the southern part of the Great Plains, so it's boring.
I liked Texas. I went to Texas, and they actually brought out a big poster and with a big cow on it and said, "What part of the cow do you want for dinner?"
Yeah, that is.
I want this part, honey.
I was just shocked.
I want the butt cheek.
Actually, last night we had our girls both had sleepovers, and we were like, we're gonna order pizza for all of them, so I don't have to cook. And it turns out that they're all vegetarian, like all of them.
Oh wow!
And we were just like, oh. And so Chris is like, well, I want the New York deli, which is like every meat known to man on a pizza. And all the kids wanted like pesto vegetarian and spinach feta. And I'm like, what?
Well, last night must have been a night for parties because it was my girlfriend's daughter's sweet 16 party. It was a surprise. Great Gatsby theme was, she did an incredible job setting everything up and getting it all together. But the kids barely ate anything. There was so much food left. Like, she had 2 giant party-sized pizzas, which, God, they're like 36 by 22. Like 36 inches wide by 22, or 6 long by 22 inches wide. Like
16, though, you're not eating in front of each other. Like I remember 16. I remember my first date, and it was like he took me to the Olive Garden, so what kind of guy he was.
Hey, he's into families.
That's right. I got fettuccine Alfredo, but I had never been out for real before, and they serve it with a spoon. And so I'm trying to pick this up, and he was in grade 12. I was in grade 10, and I'm trying to pick this fettuccine up with a spoon. And he's like, you can use your fork and just twirl it in the spoon. I was like, I'm so fucking embarrassed.
Well, this was all for her, it was all pizza and party stuff. And half the kids didn't even know it was there. Like, I brought it in, and I'm carrying it around the house going, anybody want a hoagie? And they're like, we had hoagies? Oh, I'm so hungry. I'll take a hoagie. Oh, you want pizza? Who wants pizza? There's pizza here. Now, the funny thing is one of the girls that was there, her family's restaurant is the one that Julie went to. She got all the food from this girl's family. And it's like, and it was great food. I mean, it was delicious food. But that was the only thing that I think that really went was the chicken fingers. The kids ate all the chicken fingers, and they were probably some of the best chicken fingers I've ever had in my life. They were delicious.
That's cool that she threw a sweet 16. I mean, I think my sweet 16 was sitting in the middle of the field with a 6-pack and a barf bag.
In a barf bag.
Well, at least it was not the baby bottle full of gin.
That's my sister.
No, that was you. You both said you did that.
No, she did that. I just made the drinks for her because I'm the older one.
Was this, I don't know if I listened to that episode. I remember seeing pictures of your sister on the back patio, right?
Yep. Yeah. My sister, since she's moved here, she doesn't have any friends here. And so I'm her friend. And she has been here a lot lately. So on Saturday nights, she's like, I'll bring the alcohol. Can I podcast with you? She loves podcasting.
Oh.
You're her best friend.
Chris is a little quiet right now.
So what about you two guys? Did any of your kids go through a vegetarian stage or, come home and say, that's it, I'm done with meat, and then you had to adjust? Or
Oh, no? Yeah. My daughter lasted about 30 minutes until I told her, you want some bacon?
That was us too. I was like, you don't get a cheeseburger again. And she was like, that's okay. I'm like, what about steak? And she's like, no, that's fine. I'm like, we're having Caesar salad tonight. No bacon for you? And she's like, oh, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, 9 times out of 10, it's like, they're like, oh, nope, I really want bacon. No. My dad actually has a t-shirt that says bacon is meat candy.
Yeah. I actually candy bacon, and it's super good with maple syrup.
Oh, yeah.
I made some earlier in the summer, I think.
Yeah.
It might have been for Christmas in July. But my daughter, when I was pregnant with her, I couldn't eat any meat. It made me sick immediately. Anything, my ex-husband would try and hide it and stuff. Like he'd tell me the chili was meatless, and he'd put
me. You know the joke he's going for already.
But since
I'm not much of a joker.
But I have to fight with her to get her to eat any meat. She'll eat chicken tenders.
Wait till she's about 16.
No. And then that's about it. And I can usually get her to do that, but anything else she doesn't. She wants just regular vegetarian stuff. I don't know.
She is. She's like a weird, she'll wake up and she raids the fridge for celery and apples and shit.
No joke.
That's my son.
Honestly, we used to have to do in preschool, you had to bring the snack for the whole class, and it had to be part of each food group. And I remember Rowan, I want broccoli. I'm like, sweetie, I want you to have friends. I don't want you to bring broccoli. I'm like, how about a jar of pickles? And she's like, that's not a vegetable. I'm like, but it used to be a vegetable, and kids will like you more, I promise.
Yeah.
Let's do pickles. And she was like, nope, broccoli. And so when we brought it, the teacher was like, thank goodness the kids have been asking for broccoli, but no parents ever bring it. And I was like, oh,
that's like that's
okay.
the equivalent of like being an older person at work and being the fuckhead who uses the microwave to heat up your fish.
Oh,
You know, like you're not gonna.
That's the worst.
I'm guilty. I'm the guilty.
You can't be that person.
It's Bauer. Bauer pit.
Do it at work all the time. At least once a week, he would heat up fish, and then someone from any area, because it would waft through the building, and someone would come through and they get mad because like all of a sudden the whole building smells like fish. And he's like, "What?" Like he didn't care.
I make salmon patties about at least once a month, and I guarantee you, I will be bringing my salmon up for lunch for 2 days afterwards.
Oh man, that's
man. I think between it's either fish or
what I want at that place.
burnt popcorn is another one.
Yep. I'm okay with burnt popcorn.
That's the worst.
Our BC Premier just bet Governor Jay Inslee that our hockey team would beat their hockey team tonight, and the prize would be some BC salmon.
Ooh, there you go.
On for that.
There you go.
I love fish.
Yeah.
No, I have my 24-year-old still. I have to go empty cans of corn and green beans that he'll open the can and eat it straight out of the can.
Oh no!
Doesn't even heat it up. Just eats corn and green beans straight out of the can.
I could do that with baked beans, but I can't do that with other.
I can do that with baked beans too.
Okay.
Green
I can do that
beans
with baked
come in a
beans.
can.
No.
And Chef Boyardee ravioli.
See,
No.
That's the weirdest thing. Like I know everybody does that, and I'm like, how do you not eat? You got to at least heat that up. Like,
Nope.
You caveman.
The only
You've met
thing
me. I am a
that
bit of
it's
a
just baked
knuckle-dragger.
beans. Just baked beans. That's the only one that you can open the can and eat. Everything else I think isn't very good for you. Actually, I think like it.
Oh no, it's horrible for you.
It might be. I mean, mine. One of the things you guys don't know, Chris has no teeth.
Oh, good.
He already had his teeth pulled from just the meds, everything else, eating his teeth from the psychiatric needs. So he had all of his teeth pulled when he was 19.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So,
Well, did he have new ones installed?
he never wears his dentures,
Okay.
and I'm saving up for him to get, or I'm saving up for him using his accounts
Implants?
to get permanent implants put in, because he never wears his dentures, but he still eats chicken fingers and he'll still eat fast food hamburgers or anything.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be around him when he's eating them.
I agree.
It's one
My
of the
kids will only eat chicken fingers if I coat it with like coconut flakes instead of like the panko and stuff like that. So yeah, they're like coconut chicken
Coconut
fingers.
crusted shrimp, but with chicken tenders. That sounds amazing.
I'd burn that kitchen down.
I know you would. Somebody's not
Coconut?
a fan of coconut.
yes. Oh yeah.
I'm not a huge coconut fan either, but Rowan is like all about the coconut. And every year for their birthdays, they get to choose their like dinners. And Rowan always chooses lobster and shrimp and steak. Or last year was beef Wellington she asked for. So
So I need to triple her
She
age
like-
and potentially date her.
Is she like
she's from Lindenwoods.
Chateaubriand.
She asked for Chateaubriand last year. That's right.
Oh
Oh,
my
God.
God.
I know these kids.
This year it's
this
gonna
is
be
the problem.
Coq au vin.
No, this year I'm picking.
Block the Great British Baking Show while you're at it.
I don't bake. I can't bake, but I like to cook. So they have been able to try everything, and I have to say we're very lucky. Our kids are not picky, and they have very sophisticated palates, so they don't eat a lot of things that most kids would eat. But they're not into vegetarian. They like their meat.
Yeah.
And
Well,
bacon.
tonight
Lots of bacon.
after we're done recording, I'm taking my son to an exquisite Scottish restaurant called McDonald's.
That's my favorite.
I was gonna say because exquisite and Scottish, and I'm part Scottish, so I can say this. Those two words do not go together.
Yeah, it's
Although I will say,
boiled ham or something and cabbage, isn't it?
no. Up
It's
in
very Polish.
I had what was it, pheasant for we did our Scotch tour of Scotland, my parents and I, over Thanksgiving, and for Thanksgiving I had pheasant, and then we had some wonderful. I don't like salmon, but I loved their smoked salmon up there. I mean, it was like to die for, absolutely to die for. Smoked salmon, because they
I
smoked
have
it
your mashed potatoes, your Thanksgiving mashed potatoes. I have them on my menu for this month.
Oh, do you? Okay,
Well, November.
the Pennsylvania Dutch filling.
Yes.
See,
that's a
now
good one.
this is where Cole,
You mean real Thanksgiving?
I want to fight Cole because the whole keto thing is killing me. Mashed potatoes specifically, like, oh man.
Oh, I could lead you to your
I know,
mashed
really.
potato.
And this has made baking really difficult for me because I stress bake, and when if I'm having a bad brain day, it's one of my brain therapy coping skills.
Yeah.
And I bake, but I can't eat anything, or I'm trying all these different recipes to try and make it keto friendly, and man, it's just not the same.
So I'm saying the mashed cauliflower doesn't.
No.
I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer here. I have to say it. I can't help it. Every time I hear someone say keto, why are you doing keto? I know keto works when you do it, but it is the worst thing for your body. As soon as you stop,
he's a science guy.
You swing so hard the other way. It's the worst thing. If
you
want long-term healthiness and long-term weight loss, keto is the last thing that you should ever do.
Well, I do.
It's only
I do the dirty.
if you have diabetes.
Yeah. The dirty keto I don't swing. So like I've been off keto this week, and I will have gained a little bit, but not much. It's not like when Cole goes off keto, like last year, how much did he say he gained?
He can do
year?
15 pounds in a day or two.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I don't.
But it's not because he goes off keto. It's because he goes off keto and then eats everything.
But that's not entirely true. I'm sure he does. You're not wrong, Jason. But when you remove anything that your body needs,
podcasting, by the way,
when you fast like that, any item that your body normally takes, you all of a sudden swing your whole metabolism into the second it sees that stuff. I'm holding on to it, and it just packs it all in. It is the worst thing that you can do to your body is keto.
I'm gonna say the moment I fell in love with him is when he explained to me how a pepper is a male or female and the sex organs of a bell pepper. So
you're 4. I got you.
Fucking nerds.
And it's amazing that people don't know that green peppers are just not as ripe as red peppers.
This is true. That's right.
It's from the red pepper tree, Dan.
To answer your question, she did keto because she was struggling to lose weight for a while, and for whatever reason, when she started keto, she dropped 45 pounds. And
it works.
Yeah,
it works
as long as if you stay on it, but it's not good for your body in the long run. But
weight loss.
You do lose the weight though.
I've heard the Mediterranean diet's really good.
Yeah, and there was nothing else that was working. Oh, I'm sorry. There was nothing else that was working.
How old are you? You said 30?
It was after my accident because I was laid up for almost a year, and it just killed my metabolism.
I listened to that podcast.
Yeah.
Fascinating story.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah. All of us were like texting. Did you just listen to that?
And look I've known her for over a year now, and I'm listening to it, and I was haunted. I was like, my God, because like I've always heard bits and pieces through conversation, but like she's never like just sat down and told me the whole story. And I wasn't podcasting then. I was just serving drinks and, being the butler upstairs and kicking kids into play. And I'd come down here. So I didn't know what was going on. And then when I listened to it a week later, when Dave launched it, I was like, my God.
He and Cole.
Fucking Dave, man, that guy, he knows how to get it out of you.
He does.
He's scared of me. He's totally scared of me.
That's why.
I've said 12 times, you've had everybody else in the family on. And, I'm family. You can have me on. He's like, I'll get back to you.
Dave and I one night, I was
Zeb over the last couple of weeks. I can see why he would be scared.
I was texting. We were messaging back and forth on Twitter one night. I'm like, he's like, we should do a podcast. I'm like, well, what are you doing now? He's like, nothing. I said, let's do it. And I'd been drinking, and this is a lost podcast of he and I got so hammered talking with Dave. Oh, I don't even know if I was making any sense at the end.
Did you fall asleep in a closet?
Matt's done that before.
No, that was already occupied, but that's another story.
That was already occupied. Did you listen to the follow-up where I did come down and
yes,
I could only listen to about 30 minutes of it, and I was like, I hate all of us.
I told him I tried listening to it like 3 times. I'm like, why did you let me talk? I got so but part of it, it's a hard story for me to go through all at once.
Yeah.
So I was drinking to kind of like grease the wheels a little bit, and then the wheels went off the rails. So
yeah,
I have to drink every time there's a microphone in my face. I don't drink for the rest of the week, but every time we podcast, I'm like, oh, I need a drink.
Me.
Yeah.
There's a
I listened to that whole. Go ahead. I listened to that whole podcast while I was mowing my lawn, which is the one thing since moving. My old house, I had 0.07 acres. This one I have 0.35, so it takes me like almost 4 hours from start to finish. With if I do all the edging and trim, line trimming, and oh my god, I got to get a freaking riding mower because I'm like doing the push mower isn't working.
We used to have almost an acre, and we got a riding lawnmower. And I always whenever I got grounded, my dad made me do like the lawn, or one time he made me clean his Cutlass Supreme. And I heard someone say that was their first car last night. There we go. And I was sitting there with all the kids with one earphone in going, I had a Cutlass Supreme too. Oldsmobile Cutlass.
I think if you're of a certain age, every family had a Cutlass at some point.
It was a go-to, wasn't it? Yeah.
And when I would get grounded, my dad would make me clean the spokes with a Q-tip.
Oh, you had those. That's a bummer.
Wire wheels.
Oh.
Yeah. That sucked.
You know what? See, we don't have things like that to torture our kids, and that's kind of a bummer. You know, do you ever have your kids fight you on like how bad their life is, and it's like,
oh yeah.
And it's not like
constantly
like we didn't walk up hill both ways to school, all that shit. But like, I mean, there was a little bit of a struggle, even having a decent life, a good life, you know, middle class life, whatever. But now kids are like, you know, they die if you take their phone from them for a day. It's like,
I distinctly remember with Chris the first time I took away the internet from him, and he's like, "Oh, it's no big deal." It's like, you don't realize still what I do for a living.
That's a punishment to you too, by the way.
Oh,
when you take their phone away, when you take away their electronics, your ass is grass just as much as theirs.
They're gonna,
I've hardened. I don't care.
We've made a deal now. Yeah, no, we've made a deal now that the phones have to stay on the island, so the phones don't leave the kitchen. So you can't take them into their bedrooms. They take them downstairs. They have to stay in the kitchen. So if they want to sit in the kitchen with me while I'm cooking and be on their phones, so be it.
Not a bad idea.
We've noticed since we've done that, and it's been a couple of months, and they're barely on their phones anymore. And
it's extremely difficult when you have two households, though, and that's not upheld at the other way.
I can't imagine.
That's
like
why
Chris and I have said,
like us having different rules for whoever's dealing with them.
Yeah,
you just can't do that.
We're always on the same page, and we've honestly said like we could basically do anything to each other, and we're not breaking up because I'm not fucking doing that. That sounds like hell.
Yeah.
So our life isn't that much of a hell, so we might as well just stay together until their screen time doesn't matter anymore.
And negotiating with somebody who has an unreasonable reaction to your expectations, that can be a hard place to negotiate, or they agree on the surface but then immediately turn around and
you mean like a co-parenting where it's almost like I agree with you to shut you up, and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's a fun one. And it's crazy
fun.
Yeah.
It's interesting when, especially like I have a decent relationship with my ex-wife, but you know, there's a lot of times where you hear so many horror stories where you have like one parent that's always on top of everything, and the other parent is just like a shitbag. You know, that doesn't do that barely sees the kids, that doesn't pay child support, that fights them on every single thing that they do. And it's like, I've said to my ex-wife a few times, like, you know, you have it pretty lucky. I mean, we're you and I, we're in a pretty
women scorned.
You know,
Chris's sister is divorced, and they have a good relationship, but a good relationship in the fact that like he brought his entire family over for Mother's Day and was like, my mom needs, you know, something too. So can you cook for Mother's Day on her? And so she's like hosting her ex-husband's family for like holidays and stuff like that. And I don't know if I would do that. I'm like, no, you divorced him.
Oh, you wouldn't do that for a second?
No,
who are we kidding?
No.
I would keep doing it if your mom made me martinis. She makes really good martinis.
I'm still waiting for you to introduce me to her, by the way. I asked for that. She was looking for an American man. She was tired of the guys in Winnipeg.
Chris's sister. Oh, she's fucking awesome. You would actually really like her. It was crazy that we got her on the podcast. That was amazing because she's a pretty reserved woman. So that's amazing. She's a teacher as well.
Did you feed her drinks too?
Oh yeah,
so many drinks.
Oh no, Jason, you have to listen to the one where they got together with Seb and Carrie, and they tried all these different beers from their area once they first moved there, and they're chucking the empty beer cans off the deck halfway through.
It all started with Seb. Seb goes, "Where do you keep your empties?" And I was about to say, "Well, you just told," and he just chucked it.
I woke up the next morning and our whole backyard was littered with beer cans.
I have to tell you, I think it was it last year? When was it? And you got real nervous about coming on to the podcast. And I was like, why is she nervous? She does this all the time. I didn't realize like that was you're like extremely introverted.
Extremely
intense social anxiety. Kristen, once you get her around, it's the hurdle thing. So if like tonight, we're going to see my parents, who we see every couple of weeks. We live 15 minutes away from them. Every time we go to see them, she's grumbly and shitty because we have to go out. We have to go see. And then you get there and you can't shut her up.
Yeah,
she's engaged in the
6 minutes before this podcast. I was still in bed going, I'm not fucking doing this. I'm not doing this. I don't want to. I don't know these people. And he's like, yes, you do. I'm like, no, I don't.
Just tell your parents to park in the roundabout.
I fucking screamed my ass off at the roundabout this week. Oh my God. Rowan hates me. I swear to God. But there were so many people parked in the roundabout and I was shaming them as I drove by. I was like, shame.
I thought you
need that giant speaker like from the Blues Brothers on top of your car and ringing the shame bell.
Right?
Like, shame from Game of Thrones.
Every person that I drove by as I shamed it, again, all fucking men, as I'm shaming, they're all like mouthing, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you're not. No,
that's because they're Canadian. That's just the given response.
DNA. It doesn't mean anything. It's just built in.
Exactly. Actually, when I went to the grocery store the other day, I said sorry 24 times. And like, why? People are like looking at the broccoli slaw and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Why? I'm just looking at the broccoli slaw too. I'm not sorry. But I did 24 times, Chris.
But there's different nuances to sorries. I mean, you can say it sarcastically. You can say it meanly. You can genuinely mean it. I mean, you need a dictionary just for the different sorries that we have.
It's true.
That's why I use fuck.
Yeah.
There's different ways to use it.
I use that word a lot.
Oh, I've heard you talk. Yeah.
I have a bit of a potty mouth.
Fucking sorry. All right.
Yeah. No, I think it's actually sorry. ... Fuck.
Well, I didn't. I didn't.
Classroom now. So I can say fuck as many times.
Like you don't slip
in your classroom.
I'm not in the classroom anymore. I'm a director of curriculum as of August this year. So this is a brand new. I'm an administrator now.
Nice.
So I'm not in front of kids anymore directly. So I'm in my office, and if you were to just like walk by my office, you'd probably hear me mumbling, "What the fuck is this mean?"
So her drinking just actually went down this year so far.
Her what? Yeah. She's not as
except
high strung.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm in Benton Harbor, which if you're familiar, we have a water crisis that they said this week was 800 times worse than Flint.
Oh my God!
Right now. Yeah.
Well, there is a bill that's supposed to be getting passed soon for infrastructure.
In Michigan?
No,
in the United States.
Yeah. Okay.
Allegedly. No, don't even. Kristen, between the two of us, I'm sure we have Pod Save America on constant repeat. Trying to
Pod Save America,
get a positive
world, Pod Save people.
And it just makes me bleaker and bleaker every time I listen.
Sure, you have to turn it off. Some days I'm just like, I can't. Like I'll be in the middle of it and really interested, and I just get to a point. I'm like, they're fucked down there. Yeah. I can't listen to this anymore.
We just turn it off now. Even Rowan, who's like always. I mean, she adores Rachel Maddow. She listens to Rachel Maddow in the shower. She's even stopped. She's like, no. She's like, there's no point. She's like, they just can't get their shit together. I'm like, that's right, Ro. They just can't get their shit together.
It's true.
Kristen even gets to be lucky in this case as the Hallmark / Great American country drama that I'm having to deal with, she just gets it all on Super Channel and doesn't have to worry about it.
What, the Hallmark movies?
Well, the Hallmark and Bill Abbott, who was the president of Hallmark, is now over another company called Great America Country.
We don't have that.
Yeah, you don't have that, but he's leeching stars in the movies and bringing it over to the Hallmark channel. Well, they are owned by that. What is it? One American News Network.
Oh no!
Oh no! So we don't even get Hallmark. Actually,
I know you have it on Super Channel or
it's called the Women's Network.
Oh yeah, W.
The W channel. That's right. So, like last night, I did PBR, the first Christmas movie, but I can't watch that for another month.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Did you say you PBR'd it?
Yeah.
PBR'd.
Yeah. So in Canada, they're called PVRs, not DVRs. Personal video recorders as opposed to digital video recorders.
You said PBR, like that blue ribbon.
I was like, you gotta drink gin when you podcast and drink fucking cheap beer when you watch.
You gotta drink when you watch Hallmark. We played a Hallmark drinking game. It's the only way she gets me to watch them. But then they're a riot. Jay, if you and Kyle want to get together one night and watch a Hallmark film, you print them right off the internet, and there's like if someone says, "These are great homemade cookies," drink.
Oh my god, I'm going for this.
I used to.
If she's taking over the family business, drink. Is she a big city girl going back to her small town roots? Drink.
Every time they show like the city at the beginning of the movie, drink.
You'll be drunk by halfway through the movie.
Absolutely.
I love the films where they give all the like New York establishing shots, and then it goes to the actual film, and you're like, well, there's downtown Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Almost every single one of them. Almost every single one of them are right around here, like in Summerland.
Or here. They film a lot where we are.
Jay, you got some lager?
It's bingo.
Yeah, we have Hallmark bingo cards.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, we did that last year. So Summerland is the town next to us, and they get I don't know, they're in every Hallmark movie.
The production, they get all the productions there.
We're here at 40 degrees, which I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but
40, it's
100?
like in the mid 90s.
Okay.
Mid to high 90s.
So that's how it is here in the summer usually, because we're a desert as well. So half of us is desert, and then the other half is all like grapes. Basically, we took out all the orchards, and now we're just basically
it's
grapes.
It's not Penticton, is it?
No.
Penticton is where we're at.
Penticton.
Yeah, that's what you always say. I always hear Penticton.
Penticton.
By the way, I have to say an official apology to Jason and Kyle and Brian. I normally send beer and goodies out to them, and I didn't get a chance to this year. I did see the Yingling can in your hand just moments ago.
Brian brought beer. Yeah,
we got Texas about 2 months ago, so I knew I was bringing a case up for Jay.
Did you get any? Did they get any of the Hershey's Porter down there?
I've not seen that, but I did bring them some Shiner Oktoberfest, which
there you go.
Did you bring that last year, or did you send that? Somebody, I thought we had Shiner last year too.
I brought Shiner Cheer.
Okay, yep, I remember seeing the label before.
I honestly can't believe you guys are still drinking after what I heard last night.
No, like the power, we didn't really drink much through the day. So I think I had my third was open when we started the power hour.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
How's Cole's girlfriend?
Discuss later.
Yeah,
we saw her get up and walk out, and we're just like, oh, she's not coming back.
Stick with that. That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where'd Dan go? He apologized and left.
Yeah,
Wait, let's see his name. He must.
No, I'm right here. I gotta jump for a second. I'll be right back.
Well,
okay.
Don't forget to wash your hands.
Running away.
Yeah.
Make sure you look at the art.
Dan, you're not the first one to leave Podtoberfest like that. Make sure you look at the art.
Well, I know this year for Podtoberfest, I didn't cook almost. I'm sorry. It's the way I'm sitting.
I know.
I didn't do the full spread this year because there was going to be almost nobody
Your
here.
Thighs were hurting.
Maybe I can get you some of the ceiling hang.
Oh man!
I saw Grant there yesterday. Is he around?
He was here for a couple hours today, and then I think he reached his fill.
Yeah.
So he did his part, and then he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go." So I was like, "Okay."
Did you guys do it on hiatus?
We did a couple on hiatuses earlier today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are they going to be put out?
Yeah, I'll put them out.
Fantastic.
We've got 4, I think, pre-recorded, and then we did another 2 or so today. So yeah, I've got a few in the bank, and hopefully, we will not be on hiatus after this. So
what's out?
Well, yeah,
he just doesn't pull out.
Yeah,
wait, didn't you guys go on hiatus again after Podtoberfest last year?
We did. I think we recorded once after because we did we went and did haircuts and shit. Yeah.
So you were on hiatus until December, and then we
recorded again in August. We started recording late August, I think. Yeah.
So it was like 9 months in between.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And and Jason and I have to record again. We haven't had a chance to do that. I mean, it's just like, I'm working from home
on
still,
you guys.
which is great.
I was catching up on Deconstructing Dads, and I was.
But those were recorded a while.
They were recorded, so I started making the notes, and then I was like, "Wait a second, this is Thanksgiving, and I'm starting Thanksgiving again." And I was like, "If I put out notes for you guys, you're not going to remember what you talked about a year ago."
I will. Please
really?
do.
Oh yeah,
I see that. Yeah.
Okay, then I will.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
I erased one episode, but I will do the next 3. Okay. I think. Yeah. Okay.
I know Dan is less stressed now just because of the fact that I don't see, and he's working from home because I don't see all of his
New Jersey transits.
Oh my god!
He was about 5 minutes from becoming the next shooter.
Yeah, seriously, like I was gonna have a stroke or something because it just got progressively worse, and as the pandemic started to proceed, they didn't have
with a 7:30 train today.
You're on a train with a bunch of people that don't think about basic daily hygiene to begin with. So I mean, it's like it was bad. It was really bad.
I just see the opening scene of a movie that the train going down the dark tunnel, the light flashing, and then the driver in the front going, "Is that someone on the tracks?" And there's Dan. He just opens his jacket full of C4.
He kills himself and all of them.
Well, see, I'm worse because I have to take the train from New York City up to Middletown for work quite a bit. And
oh wow, okay, yeah.
Dan stays in suburbia. I hit Hickville very quickly up in Middletown.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's so much fun taking a subway and a train, and that because we don't have them. I
was gonna say because you don't have to do it every day.
That's right.
Yeah.
I took the fast train from Busan to Seoul, and we got across the country in 3 hours. And I was like, "This is fucking amazing!" And everybody's like, "Oh no, this is monotonous. This is boring." And I was like, "No, this is so exciting."
Was that before or after the zombie movie?
Train to Busan.
I was gonna ask the same thing.
Yeah.
My sister lived there. I don't know. She wasn't a zombie.
There's a really popular zombie movie that came out about 5 years ago called Train to Busan, and then there's a sequel, but for some reason it looks like it got raped by the Fast and the Furious franchise because it is fucking obscenely different than the original movie.
I didn't know there wasn't. I thought the train to the Orient, Midnight Train to the Orient, or what?
The Orient Express.
That's
Murder in the Orient Express.
That's the only train I know. That movie.
Yeah,
the
Train to Busan is actually really good.
Time.
There's another joke about a train, but I'm going to be a gentleman.
Yeah.
Has anybody seen Dune, by the way?
Oh, it's out, and I was already looking up times for the IMAX.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. They had it. Some people are back in our offices, and they gave a free screening on the screen that we have there. And everybody that I worked with, I saw it on a Slack channel at work, and they were just blowing it up, saying, "You got to go see it in the theaters. You got to see it in the theaters. You got to see it on IMAX. You got to get the mix. The sound is incredible. You can't just watch this at home. You got to watch this in the theater." So, but yeah, I've been like you guys. I've been slowly but surely taking my kids back to the movies, and we saw the Suicide Squad in the movies, which was great. It was a lot of fun. My son and I just saw Venom: Let There Be Carnage.
Squad.
Huh?
I was really mixed on the Suicide Squad. I have to watch that again because I don't know if it was the mood I was in or what, but I was like, eh. And then the more I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, it was a fun movie. So I have to give it another go because I was really I don't know. I didn't get it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was
I struggled to finish it. I think I shut it off and I was like, I finished it like a week later just because I'd started it. And then after talking about it a couple times, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe it wasn't a bad movie. It was just, I mean, James Gunn is so, you really have to be in the right mind frame. Other than, I would say Guardians of the Galaxy is probably like his most mainstream. Like even like he wrote the second, both Scooby-Doo movies, but the second one is so fucking weird about Scrappy-Doo becoming this giant and he's like whatever, and you're like, what the hell am I watching? So he's got a real weird outlook on shit, which is, you know, what makes him really great at his stuff, but it was hard to take in at times.
Still better than 1984.
1984, like Big Brother's watching you?
No,
like Wonder Woman.
1984.
Oh, I didn't finish that. I was
oh god, that was so bad.
We didn't finish it either.
No.
But I did buy 1984 for our 12-year-old for Christmas last year.
The book. Yeah.
The book. It's so good.
It is so good. I love George Orwell. I bought her Animal Farm too, but as a graphic novel, and it was phenomenal.
What is this Animal Farm I keep seeing people talk about? What are they referencing? What is Animal Farm?
You've never seen Animal Farm?
Oh, the Russian Revolution.
Yeah,
no,
that's exactly what it is.
I keep thinking it's Funny Farm. I keep thinking of the Chevy Chase movie.
Oh, okay, no.
Animal Crackers, maybe.
Yeah. Animal Farm, it won Pulitzers and literary prizes. It's taught in every school.
Not Pulitzers.
Yeah. It's basically like the breakdown of what happened when communism first came about.
You guys should know all about that, but more fascism. But
oh god,
but pay attention. You know, we're not fascists here.
No, the problem is that, and I'll break it down real easy for everybody. Once they did away with the fairness doctrine, that's when like Fox News came about and the 24-hour news channel came about, because all I have to show is 2 hours worth of news, and then the rest of it is opinion, and people think it's still news because it's on a news channel.
It is literally so interesting to watch you guys from up here. Like it's just crazy to watch things
because
explode.
It's now like a fucking wrestling show. Like they give the people to the crazy people because they make good sound bites.
But no, even some crazy people that I know that are all about like craziness, they're even like, they're crazy down there. Like,
oh yeah.
It is interesting to watch from a different point of view, from our news feeds, talking about what is going on in the States. And as a person that has a double major in history and politics, and my main history was U.S. history, just watching everything, I'm just like, this is crazy.
And because of social media and these news channels, quote unquote news channels, they're living in an echo chamber, and they're just living with the people that are saying, and so they're reaffirming everything that they're saying.
You're living in an echo chamber as well,
right?
Yeah,
I agree. But I try to make a conscientious effort to read as much as I possibly can and listen to different opposing viewpoints. And like I know people that work in politics, and I mean, like I don't know if you guys have seen the Board of Education meetings that people have having across the country, where it's interesting because
that sounds worse.
These people come with scripts that they're getting from the internet. They're getting from these
critical race theory is just called history here. Like
it's not, but it's not. But like,
but it should be. It's just history.
Of course, it's just history. That's what they don't want. They don't want us to teach history.
I know.
And what really happened, because we all know history is taught by the
we have
history
that too.
is taught by the winners. I mean, you guys are having the issue with the indigenous, like all the.
So are we? We're just
children.
Not publicizing it.
I mean, Kyle.
You just woke Kyle up.
It's true.
She's right.
Hold on.
No, you're 100% right, Kyle.
Let her put her feather in her hat.
And call it macaroni.
Yeah.
But no, there's a lot of that. But the focus was on Canada, and the same thing, if not worse, were. It was the craziest thing to be witnessing when I'm in groups that are talking about the archival research work that I was doing during my PhD. A lot of those folks are actually working with the boarding schools in America and trying to identify people and get kids back to their tribes so they can be properly buried. So I know all this is going on, and then everybody blows up about what's happening in Canada. I was like, guys, like. This is here. We had a conversation.
I knew none of this because I saw someone make a tweet about buried bodies in schools being found, and I thought it was like a joke on Twitter because it's the complete opposite of what Canada is known for: sweet and kind and fucking maple syrup. So I texted, I texted Nickel, I think it was, like, hey, what are you guys doing up there, making a joke? And all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, this is a real thing that's going on. And I was like, I was like a Homer Simpson for real, backing into the fucking.
You got to remember that we came from the British Commonwealth, which you know colonized half the fucking world. It's not like we're innocent here, you know, in things that we have done. And
it's the only divergence between our two countries' paths when it comes to the indigenous folk is you slaughtered most of yours while you were taking over the country. We tried to fake nice our way through it and go, well, you guys go over here and we'll give you some land there
with no water.
With, you know,
that is what we did too. We fake nice our ways, and then we just crossed our fingers behind our back.
No, there was a lot of like, hey, we're just gonna outright murder you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, your population of indigenous was like slaughtered, but we didn't necessarily.
Like in total
do
numbers
that.
are in actual numbers, not per capita. Our numbers are almost the same.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like it's
I just read a book, and it's called the 21. Was it 21?
Yeah,
the 21 things to know about the Indian Act, and that's our Canadian like we don't have a Charter of Rights. We do. It's called Charter of Rights and Freedoms, but we don't have like
a constitution.
A constitution like you guys. Yeah. And in fact, we didn't even have a Charter of Rights and Freedoms until
1984.
Yes, when Justin Trudeau's father, Pierre Trudeau, made it. So we don't have the same like freedoms. Right. So we don't even talk like that. We don't have the freedom to have a gun because that's not a freedom. That is, it's like we just don't have any of those. We have the right to live here. And that's basically it. We don't have the right to go on anybody else. And this is where it's so different with the States. Whenever I hear anything, they're like, my right, my freedom, my this. And what we did is instead of killing people, we put people onto reserves, and these are called residential schools, and the last one didn't actually close until 1996, which is disgusting, right? Like it's so gross.
But it was not the same. I mean, you're right, but
but we just did things differently and used different words, but we have done some atrocious things too, is where I'm getting it at. You know, like I'm not trying to say Canada is all.
No, we have done awful things in our history.
Yeah, but we just like to make fun of you guys because you guys are still doing awful things.
Well, the last U.S. residential school was closed in '96 as well. So apparently it was a group effort. Like, hey, this is bad.
Yeah,
maybe we should.
Well,
should we stop cultural genocide? Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, the fact that we have something, a comic book TV show, Wake Up America and the World, almost to the Tulsa race riots.
Yeah.
Which
no one knew anything about it until the Watchmen.
Yeah.
Hey, funny enough, though, in university, I learned about the Tulsa race wars, and all like that whole Juneteenth. I learned about that. Yeah. However, in my university, I never learned about residential schools.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything about my bad Canadian history, but I learned about your bad history.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Same thing. I knew about Juneteenth being from Texas, and it's and so it was part of Texas history, which I always thought was interesting. Is that we have a Texas history, and because Texas was its own republic for a few years, there is enough of that to be a Texas history. I don't know what Iowa history would look like personally. I mean, I'm sure you had Michigan history at one point when you were like 7th grade.
You learn about like the local government stuff. Yeah. I just didn't know what the hell you're talking.
I always find it funny because you guys don't know a lot about Canadian history, but like my 8-year-old, when we were talking about bathrooms earlier, when we were building our house, she's like, well, I want 33 bathrooms just like the White House. And I was like, you know how many bathrooms the White House has? Like my 8-year-old knows.
Yeah, but that wouldn't surprise me because of the way you two talk about U.S. politics and U.S. so much. And to answer about that, like without realizing it until I was like way into adulthood, we're kind of selfish when it comes to like we're raised to be like America is the world.
That's right.
Yeah, we're very insulated.
And to be fair,
to be fair,
the information doesn't flow both ways. We get, I mean, 90% of our television, even when I was a kid, came from America. We watch your movies. We watch some of your news programs. Most of our television feeds came from. So, I mean, everything we see, we grew up with all the same stuff as you. You just didn't grow up with all the same stuff as us because it doesn't come back over. There are some things that I've discovered over the years of doing this that hits you, like Kids in the Hall. Dan was a big fan of it. So there's certain bits, but it, again, 90% of the information flows this way. It doesn't come back the other way. So I don't blame Americans for not knowing that much about us. Although how little they know in total, just the general awareness that there's 40 million people living above them. That's not their country. That blows me away.
Yeah.
Or when you go to different places.
50 miles of the border.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
or when I'm in Tokyo and there's Americans freaking out, you don't take American money? No, fuck. We're in Japan. You come on.
Learn the language or go home.
Exactly. Oh, God.
In their defense, it's something like 60 countries worldwide that use the U.S. dollar as their main denomination.
But again,
that's dealing with us.
That's because we're raised to think that everyone is going to cater to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. That's exactly.
It always gets me with the measurements and Fahrenheit and with the measurements and inches and that. We're the only country in the whole world that uses that, and you're like, why can't you move it to ours?
It's over 13.
No, it's 3.
Oh.
Us, Myanmar, and one of the countries in Africa.
Yes, that you could fit in your shoe.
It's 3 countries, but the other 2 don't count.
I remember being so upset when we moved I lived on the southeast side of Michigan for a little bit when I was growing up. And we moved up north, and for about 2 years, I couldn't get any of the Canadian channels. I didn't know they were Canadian channels, but I lived right across from Windsor. So I was getting all of the Canadian television. It was just part of our package, hockey, all of the hockey channels. Hockey. Yeah. All the hockey channels were Canadian channels, and I didn't know. And then we moved up north, and we had 3 channels for the vast majority of
we watched my main channel was the Detroit channel, or no, the Tri-State. What was it? WDAZ. That's right. So that's what we grew up watching. So we only watched American news, American pretty much everything. I don't know why football doesn't really resonate as much up here.
Because
for me, it was
hard enough to realize that it's just grown men bashing their heads into other grown men, and they're actually killing themselves.
That's right. That's exactly why we don't watch it very much.
They have that with
hockey's any better? Come on.
I was gonna say
we shake hands after we punch each other in the face. It is
until the 80s.
Yeah, because when we're done the fight, the scrap is over. You pick each other up off the ice and go, good scrap, tap a bum, and away you go.
Sorry about that.
It's just so fucking cold up here. Where I grew up, I had at least 20 rinks right around me. So that's all you did. You just your parents were like, okay, leave the house now, go skating. So you just grew up on ice, right?
It was like us Americans going to the mall.
I guess it's like a Canadian. The more I hear about it, because growing up in northern Michigan,
I was going to say I couldn't imagine it being any different.
No, and that's why I'm so into winter sports, is because there was nothing to watch on TV. We had 3 channels, and and there was no mall anywhere nearby or anything like that. So
no Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, but I was outside.
Even watching Fargo. That resonates with me more than, other Canadian shows. Some of the Ontario Canadian shows, they don't resonate with me at all. But Fargo totally does, because I grew up in Winnipeg, right? So it was just really super away. Close. Yeah.
So what part of Fargo resonates with you? Just the language and the weather, or the homicides?
Yeah. The language, the weather, the scenescapes, and the murder.
Okay.
Wood chipper. I mean, we've all had a wood chipper experience.
Come on. In fact, our neighbor right now just started his furnace, but it's
wood furnace.
A wood furnace. It's a wood fire. Because everybody around here, they don't have furnaces, so you can smell all of
it doesn't get
the
that
fires.
cold here.
It doesn't get that cold, but it's a little bit cold today.
Not get that cold there. If you're more north than we are, it gets colder than a motherfucker here.
Yeah, but it's different weather. We're in a semi-desert and in a valley, so our coldest day is -5, and that might be for a week. Which is, what would that be Fahrenheit?
That would be about
degrees,
22.
Yeah,
we have the same weather as Napa Valley.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So that's why we moved here.
It is like, we'll get down -20 here.
Oh, for sure you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what we moved away from.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you.
When we had Rowan, I was like, I'm not doing this. We're not going outside and I have to bundle her up and plug in your car and start the car for a half an hour just to make it run. Like I just don't want to do that anymore.
And my kids want to live in that. My kids want to be up where it's cold, where it's only a short summer and they don't have to deal with it. I'm like,
we have
what
mountains
are you talking
right
about?
there. We can go
What
up
are you
the
talking
mountain
about?
and go skiing, snowboarding, whatever. 20 minutes away.
Well, that's because they love to go up to my parents because it's, they always tend to have snow like right around Christmas or right after Christmas. So it's like they get excited to see that. But I mean, we're close enough to the ocean that affects our weather so that we don't like it stays warmer this down like further south. But like I talked to my parents earlier, I was driving, it was 68 outside where I was, and it was 50 degrees where they were, which is like an hour or 2 hours away.
But they're on the water, right?
They are on a lake. It's a man-made lake, but they're also up in the Poconos. So they're up in the mountains. They're up in like the Blue Ridge Mountains of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I love your pictures too. They're wonderful. That's what I love about social media is I get to see all of your pictures from out east that I've never been. That's the only place I really haven't been is out east.
No, you should come. I mean, Philly is a great walking town. Lots of great restaurants, lots of good beer, breweries and like distilleries and stuff like you guys like.
You
Jersey
and I were
has
just
the
talking
Jersey
about
Shore.
The one restaurant, the Italian restaurant that you and I were talking about last week, and it closed down. And I was like all over that menu.
Oh yeah. You were
in New York City. You've been out east.
You've been to New York. Yeah.
That's a whole nother world.
Yeah.
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 New York is the best. I cannot wait to go back.
We have to wrap this episode of Deconstructing Dad up because everybody has lives outside of podcasting, believe it or not, which is unfortunate. But I will say the one thing I've taken away from this is, you know what? I might go hiking because to Canada to see these folks have some drinks and get lost in the woods. Sounds kind of fun. So
see, it's not going to be a solo hike this next year.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. I still want to try and get out there for a Podtoberfest. I have to do it at some point.
Well, we would love to show Canada to you guys. We talk about it all the time, but we know so much about you guys. We would love to have you guys up here.
And I think I should try and figure out a way that
it's going to be a
where
weird
we could do a
house guest where we just don't leave.
We're like, we're here.
Yeah.
Or we should do a pod weekend from the lake at some point.
Yeah, I've talked to you about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We live between two lakes. Just saying.
Dan, you just got one up on your own podcast.
Oh, Dan has one. They have two. Sorry, we're going to the mire.
Yeah, but we have a waterfront property, and you could actually swim in our lake. Unlike, well, Kristen just doesn't like to swim anyway, so
you can swim in our lakes. You can see the bottom. Our lakes are gorgeous.
Yeah, so you could see the bottom in ours too. So,
and I can see the giant bottom in my bathroom. And with that, we're out of here.
Great way to wrap it. Great callback.
All of our asses. We'll see you next time, probably next year if we're all together again, or if we.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you for coming on. This has been all of Podtoberfest. We'll see you later, listeners.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.